Before I get started, I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kwadash, Walam Yam. Double honors to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the ones out there who are doing this work diligently, and chiefly keeping the faith, making your calling and your election sure. The title of this one is called Spiritual Breakfast, Time to Wake Up. And the spirit just jumped on me to do this particular lesson because it's like the alarm is going off, and you got Jake hitting the snooze button, right? The alarm is ringing, it's loud, it's clear, and it's time for you to wake up, but you hit the snooze button. You know, that's what's going on with a lot of Israelites, man. They understand what's happening, they can comprehend what's happening, but they constantly hitting the snooze button over and over and over again. And before you know it, you're gonna be late. You know, you're gonna be too late, man. Shalom, shalom to everybody who's watching in truth and sincerity. You're gonna be too late, man. You know, and I'm not speaking to those who are awake already. This video is to those who are still asleep, right? And wake up to hit the snooze button to go back to sleep. That's what this video is for, man. You look around and you see what's happening. Like Bashir, the nuclear plant over in Iran, Bashir, I think that's how to pronounce it, Bashir. That was a nuclear plant that got hit by America, I believe, yesterday. And that nuclear plant really belonged to Russia. It was just in Iran. And we know, according to Ezekiel chapter 38, Russia is a guard to Persia. Persia is the modern day Iranians. All right, so that's the alarm going off, right? But Jake still sleep. They not waking up. They're not realizing who they are. And the majority are gonna stay asleep. Majority are gonna constantly hit the snooze button. Only the elect will truly wake up in these times, right? And see what's going on. When America attacked that nuclear plant over in Iran, Salakia, let me cut the notifications off. When America, let me see. When America attacked that nuclear missile plant over in Iran, that was a signal for Russia to get involved because Russia had a bunch of scientists in that plant. Now I don't know if they moved them or not. We're gonna be able to see how many casualties took place today. I'm gonna look up on it and see what's going on and probably do another video or something. But the point is, man, it's time to wake up. That was a big alarm, and those who are not watching, those who are still asleep, you're snoozing, right? You're snoozing, man. Because when America attacked that plant, if it was some Russian workers in there, now instead of it being a proxy on proxy war, it's gonna be two superpowers going against each other. you know. And we know that the MOTB has to be made mandatory before World War III takes place, but we're on the brinks of it, man. Everything is taking place, and Jake is oblivious, man. You know, but hey, that's the Lord's will. Okay, the ones who wake up now, the Lord woke you up. It only takes the Spirit to get you up out of this world, man. If you're caught up in this world and you're not seeing what's going on, you only worried about your job or your relationship, your family and things like that, the Spirit ain't working with you then. Yeah, we take care of our families, but we see the end goal. We see what's taking place. All right, we understand that the prophecies are unfolding, Real talk, man. These prophecies are unfolding, and those who are awake, you get it. Those who are asleep and constantly getting up, hitting the snooze button and going back to sleep, you don't get it. You don't understand the severity of these times, man. All right, these are the times that our forefathers hoped for it, all right? They dreamed about, Real talk, man. Real talk. So don't keep your head in the sand. It's time to wake up. Like the brother Dhammawatia say, I believe that's his name, Dhammawatia. He said in Orlando, wake up Jacob, right? It's time to wake up. Okay? It's time to wake up, man. You know, these prophecies, we only got a few of them left. And so if you don't wake up and you don't repent and turn back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai in these times, you're gonna die, man. You know, you're gonna be left out there exposed without no protection, man. Real talk. And this is just a warning. And that alarm, the alarm is the prophecies. Also, the alarm represent the prophets too as well, man. You think it's a coincidence that you see men on the highways and the byways across the four corners of the earth teaching this truth? There's no coincidence. That's plain and clear for those who can see that this is just not happening just because. No, man, if you got a spiritual eye, you're able to see that the prophets are standing up. The Lord is rising the prophets right now to set the alarm, warn you all that this time is coming so you can prepare, so you can depend on the Lord, right? But if you don't take heed to the prophet, you're going to be destroyed, man. You know? Even if you take heed to the prophets and you don't change your life, you still going to be destroyed. You know, the Lord got a lot of people destined for destruction, you know, and then the Lord got a few who are destined for salvation. You got to pray and hope that you're a part of the elect in these times, man, because it's about to get dark. It's about to get crazy, right? It's about to get dark. It's about to get crazy. The police, right? You're not going to be able to call 911, right? You're not going to be able to go into stores and access food. It's about to get crazy, man. All right? They about to transfer everything to that digital technology, the RFID chip. And if you're not plugged in with them, if you don't have the chip, then guess what? You're going to be ostracized from society. Look that word up, ostracized from society, right? Even your own family, like it says in the book of, I believe the book of Luke or the book of Matthew, you know, it lets you know that your own family will cause some of you to die. Why? Because they're not going to take the MOTB. And all those who do not take the MOTB, you're going to be a criminal, right? You're going to be outlawed. You're going to be hunted, locked up in concentration camps, or brutally murdered, you know? And some family members gonna turn you over to the government, right? When they know your location, or if you're living with them, they're gonna turn you over to the government because they don't want to go through the same punishments as those who don't take the MOTB. You see, real talk, man. Those are the times that's coming, and people don't like to hear that, right? But it's real, right? Betrayal is real in this truth. You know, betrayal is real in the world, man. There's a lot of backdooring going on, you know, and the person or the people that are backdoor you are the ones you let close, right? Me personally, I don't deal with none of my so-called family. I prefer to speak to them in the kingdom, to talk to them in the kingdom, because I closed that back door, if you understand what I'm saying. I closed the ability for my family to be able to betray me in these times to come. I got a feeling they're going to take the MOTV, majority of them, you know, just like they took the Maxine. Those who took the Maxine, pay attention to them, right? And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say the Maxine. Those who took the Maxine, pay attention to them, because those are going to be the same ones who take the RFID chip. Pay attention, man. You know, real talk. Pay attention to who's around you, who you allow in your circle, right? Don't be chilling around no Edomites, you know. I don't care how friendly they seem. They're your enemies, right? Real talk, man. And just, you know, pray and hope in the Lord that the Lord, you know, send healing, send mercy, not only to you and your household, but also to the brothers who are like-minded in their households. You see? Real talk, man. You know, we almost out of this place. You know, it's time to wake up. It's time to see what's going on. It's time to wipe the crust out your eyes and open your eyes and see the things that are taking place around you, right? See the spiritual things that are taking place and understand them. If you have any questions, you can come to the comment board or you can message me, or you can message a like minded brother that's here in GMS. Right now, this is the time to stack up on the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding what you're a part of, understanding what's happening. So when these times approach, it don't be new to you, right? It don't. You're used to it, right? You're just gonna roll, or, follow the motions, follow your how about Shem Shah. So hopefully this is edifying, man. It's time to wake up. You know, things are taking place, and if you don't get right now, man, you're through. If you don't build a relationship with the Lord right now, you're through. Revelation chapter 3, right, let us know that, you got to open the door. When the Lord knocks, you got to open the door and let him in. If you don't, you're going to be caught out there with no protection. All right, so hopefully this is edifying. I'm going to end it by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakak, Wadash, Lai Walam Yum. Double honors once again to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom once again to the elect. This conclude the spiritual breakfast. Shalom. Yahweh Mahar.